the competition. She's taken almost more free throws than Czechia as a team. Give you some sort of context for that. So we are set to go. Opening game, day 4 here in Wuhan, and it's Mali working to the right of your screen who've controlled the tip. Doumbia has been a good leader for them at the point guard role. There's Haidara. Energy from Elizabeth Darbu. Pocket pass. Kone, well, they coughed it up. Lost the handle on it, and it came to Camila Cardoso. And the other one, Dantas, involved. The pass was an awkward one. Kone did well just to knock it down and deflect what was going on. And Haidara wants to go quickly. And the ball knocked down out of her hands. Last touch by Brazil.
And we'll see a lot of that from Haidara, just putting the ball to the floor, dribble penetration, exploding to the basket.
First 30 seconds of the game. Shot wouldn't fall there from the outside for Elizabeth Darbu. Here's Alina Goncalo for the ball carrying duties for Brazil. Manu de Oliveira decides to fire. That's off the mark as well. Good team D there from Kone to work it to the advantage of Haidara. Now Doumbia. It's all off the ball here. Foul's going to be called on Brazil. It's as though it's going to be called on Kaka Martins.
Well, it was. As the player was running down the court, she just stopped and sort of set an illegal screen to try and slow her down, but the referees were all over that.
Mali restart. Here's Doumbia lobbing the ball down low. Going to work here, Haidara. Nothing on offer for her, so she shares it across. And opening points of the game have been supplied here by Sika Kone. Took a little over a minute for the opening score. Now Brazil looking for their first point. Shot clock to single digits here for Kaka Martins. Down to the baseline. From close range, an awkward shot fired up there by Camila Cardoso. Never really controlled the pass. So Brazil, their opening shot is off the mark. Baseline just running out of real estate. And stepping out of court is the call. Alima Dembele thought she was foul, but that's not the way the referee Natasha Dragojevic saw it. You see Pokey Chapman, the coach of Brazil, just wanting to get some motion at the offense. They need to get the ball moving. Just a little sticky there through the first 90 seconds. Dantas thought about pulling the trigger. De Oliveira does, and it's off the mark, right in front of our commentary position. The rebound belongs to Maimouna Haidara. Not the start Brazil were after. As Kone takes it from Doumbia, rolls it down low. Haidara likes her chances here against a shorter opponent. Couldn't make it work though. Cardoso, it was Dantas with the rebound, and now Goncalo works to an opening. It rattles around the rim. It's taken more than 2 minutes, but Brazil are underway.
Well, that was a good sort of screen set by Cardoso to just open up that driving lane for Goncalo to finish off that shot.
Doumbia through hands, Darbu into the corner. It's off the mark from Dembele. A chance here for Brazil, and Goncalo gets up the floor quickly. The game works to an opening. They stood off her, and she makes it happen again to put Brazil in front.
Well, again, Cardoso is attracting so much attention from the defenders. They don't want her to get the ball, and so that's leaving some other players, such as Goncalo, wide open.
Kone, a good look there, and she comes up with a finish. So she's got all 4 of Mali's points so far. Goncalo with all 4 points for Brazil. On 2 of 2 shooting. Again, she works to an opening. It was a tough shot. Defense was solid there, coming from Sika Kone. Maimouna Haidara hands over. Doumbia wants to put it on the deck here against Martin. Spins baseline. Didn't work for her. O-board from Kone in traffic. That's a good result for her. Needs help provided by Darbu. She's off the mark, and Dantas grabs the rebound. Neither team lighting up at the moment. Brazil 2 of 6 from the field so far. Mali 2 of 7.
surprised Brazil haven't sort of forced the issue and gone inside a little bit more, sort of tested the defense of Mali early.
Well, here's Dantas just now like from close range. Well, she should have done a little better from there. Wasn't an aggressive, confident-looking shot from Dantas, and when you consider she's the leading scorer at the tournament, averaging 23 a game, you might expect a little more than that. Still restart through Martins to De Oliveira. Now Cardoso working on Dembele. Likes her chances. Solid body work. And she gets the bucket and draws a foul in the process. And that's going to be the problem for Mali to try and contain her.
Well, exactly right. And as soon as that ball goes inside, you know, let her go to work, because she's got the strength, she's got the skill, she's got the size to be able to dominate those inside defenders.
Coming off 15 points, 11 rebounds, Cardoso against Czechia. 75% from the free throw line, but can't make the extra there. 2-point lead then for Brazil. Took over 4 minutes played. Opening quarter action, game 1 on day 4. Outside shot from Dabu. Oh, the bottom of the net.
Well, Dabu shoots the threes at 44%, so we can expect that anytime she's open there that she's going to let that fly.
7 threes coming into this game as the baseline jumper. Again, Dantas is short. And a chance here for Kone. Puts it on the deck. Now Doumbia, they want to post her up here. She's got a shorter opponent in Martins on her, but they did enough to worry her out of the points. And Goncalo off and running here. Catch Mali unawares. Well done there. Cardoso kept it alive, but then stepped out of court, so Mali will get it back. Quite an arm wrestle to start, as you might expect. Goncalo sits down, replaced by Costa. Deborah, in fact, start game 1 here against Belgium, but has lost her spot in the starting lineup after 2 games. But Mali with the edge here. Rokia Doumbia for Kone. Haidara works to the top of the key, and that's short as well. The ball out of court. So Mali 3 of 10 from the field so far. Just working their way into the game. An identical field goal set up for Brazil as well.
Well, I feel like neither team have found their rhythm or their tempo in this game yet. It's been very disjointed for both of them.
Inside they go. Camila Cardoso takes on Kone, 2 of the best power forwards here, and Cardoso adds to her tally. She's got 4. Lead changes once more.
So you can see Brazil on a score. They're going one-on-one defense or zone defense. When they don't score, they match up.
A couple of triples now for Mali. Has opened up for them. Brazil. Here's Martins. Puts it on the deck, gets to the baseline, can't finish it. Cardoso, the O-board, putback wouldn't go for her. Thought she was fouled. Here's De Oliveira hard to the rack, and she's earned a trip to the free throw line as Doumbia is called for the foul.
That was a nice, aggressive cut by number 11, Oliveira. And that's what Brazil have to continue to do. Anything they do, they have to do with certainty. They have to do with purpose. They can't just be cutting slowly or, you know, wayward passes. Everything has got to be done, as does Mali as well.
The Oliveira's been good from the stripe, 7 of 10 here at the tournament. Brazil 71% from the free throw line overall, to be middle of the road against the other teams. Mali yet to get to the free throw line, but have knocked down a couple of triples in their tally. So we're tied at 10 as we count down the last 4 minutes of the opening quarter. Seeing Jennifer NJ injected into the game as well. She was good in her first game with 10 points against Belgium after arriving late to the tournament. Here's Doumbia. Dribbled into a trap, needs help. A good D, well done, Camila Cardoso. With the block shot to deny Haidara, and now Dantas, this time a little more aggressive, gets it inside, and the Twin Towers combine, and Cardoso finishing touches. 6 in the game now for her.
That's where Mali's going to have a little bit of difficulty with both of those players becoming active now.
Starting to warm to the occasion. Elizabeth Dabu, Kone outside. And Jay had rattled around and wouldn't fall, and Cardoso grabs the rebound. So she got 4 boards to go with 6 points already, Camila Cardoso. And she is looming large is Dantas. Couldn't finish it initially, stayed with it, and there was a foul called as well, but there was contact prior to the first shot going up from the middies Dantas, and it does seem that Elena Dembele was a little inconvenienced by it all. You see Cardoso's previous bucket here, 3 of 5 from the field for her 6 points.
And we see Bella Nascimento coming onto the court for Brazil, who we know is a great 3-point shooter. Shoots the 3 ball at 46%.
Dantas, 14 of 19 from the stripe at 74% coming into this game. Tournament's leading scorer. And Brazil now have a game-high 4-point buffer here with a little over 3 minutes left on the clock until quarter time. They have scored the last 6 points, and Mali need to steady. Six for Cardoso. Couple for Dantas. They do provide more than half of the output at the offensive end for Brazil. Babu, lob pass. Here's Mama Sisse, which she may have travelled. And Mali are going to turn the ball over for the 3rd time in the game. Brazil with just the 1 turnover so far. Turnovers have been a problem for Mali. Average 18 a game, which is 2nd worst. On the pass there, well, that split a couple of Brazil players, but it was last touch by Mali, so they'll get a restart here. It's going to be Deborah who restarts for us. Deborah Costa. Held the score yesterday. That's 6 points against South Sudan. Outside shot. Well, comes up with the finish there that they needed. Oh, Martins. So they've scored the last 8 here. What can Mali come up with a little over 2 minutes left on the clock until quarter time? Gubia outside. Mama Sisse kept it alive with the offensive rebound, but the putback wouldn't work for her. But Mali will keep possession here as the ball spills out of court.
Mali are pretty relentless on the O boards. They average 14 O boards a game across the first 3. So that is something that Brazil have to be aware of. They have to make sure they find a body they block out, because that's a great way to get second chance points.
Sissoko's checked into the game here for Mali for her first minutes. The boo. Sisse. Long shot from her is off the mark. Martin scurries after the rebound. Bounce pass. Got it in rhythm there. Dantas. In fact, it's Muro who's checked into the game. And again, they get the ball inside and go to the attack there of Camila Cardoso, who draws a foul.
Well, they did a good job of a skip pass to the wing, then straight to the top of the key to Martins, who was wide open to take that shot, but she saw her teammate in Cardoso right under the basket.
This has been a good 3-minute patch here for Brazil. They've extended the margin now out to an 8-point edge, and they've scored the last 10 points here. So timeout called, not surprisingly, by Mali. 1:50 to play here in the opening quarter. They led at 10-8 with 4 minutes left in this quarter. Now that has changed dramatically here with a 10-0 run provided by Brazil. Cardoso with 8 points on 3 of 5. She's got 4 boards. And Dantas with 2 points, 4 rebounds.
On veut bien jouer des systèmes placés, mais il faut jouer rapide d'abord. Avant que vous venez vous arrêter pour porter. Et puis quand on dit que toi, quelqu'un qui est là ne peut pas faire la passe à quelqu'un qui est là. Quand on te dit toi, tu tiens juste ici pour faire la passe à celle-là. Allez dans ton champ. Ensuite, quand vous avez le ballon, attaquez les rebonds, boxez et cherchez à marquer les paniers faciles. On a fait trop de la tête au point. Et en défense, on les laisse jouer ce qu'ils veulent.
I need this Ghost, here, Alini up, you're here, okay? So, when she comes up, then Camilla, I want you to come off. If she gets the touch.
Some of the action from the opening quarter, and Camila Cardoso creating problems here for Mali. And the slow starts have been problematic for Mali in this tournament. They've led at quarter time just once in their 3 games so far, and they've got their hands full here at the moment as well, with less than 2 minutes left on the clock and trailing 18-10.
Well, hopefully Haidara will get involved. Right now she has 0 points, and she is Mali's leading scorer, averaging just over 14 points a game, 6 rebounds. So they need to somehow get her more involved.
Both teams have used 8 players so far here in this opening quarter. As Funi Sissoko hands off to Sisse. Here's Kone. She's the most likely offensive target at the moment. Haidara outside. Sisse, extra pass. Here's Sissoko, and she fills up the triple. They've knocked down 3 here in the opening quarter.
That's exactly what they needed coming out of the timeout. Good ball movement, finding the open player in Sissoko.
There's Moura, a little undecided with it. Now Sissoko bounced into her opponent there. Looks as though she's going to be called for the foul.
We had a sense, though, coming out of that timeout, that Mali really upped the ante defensively. They were up and in. They were in the passing lanes.
Over the limit in terms of fouls now, Mali, so free throws to come here for Brazil. 5 fouls to 1 so far. And Sisse has 2 of those, the only player with multiple fouls, and Moura gets to the free throw line for Brazil. Hasn't seen a lot of action. Had the score yesterday in 8 minutes, and just 2 points against South Sudan and 3 in the opening game against Belgium. But here's the main offensive threat, Cardoso. She couldn't get a whistle nor a bucket there. It's Kone. They're up the floor quickly, and Sissoko travelled. So it's turnover number 6 here for Mali in this opening quarter.
Cardoso did a great job. She went to the deck on that last play and on offensively, and then had to get up and sprint the floor to be able to match up, and did a great job.
City up from Mali making changes here. Sisse sits down with those 2 fouls. She brings a lot of energy to the table. Be a little unpredictable at times. None of 2 from the field and picked up those fouls. And we count down the last 60 seconds of the opening term. Both teams have been in front here. Brazil getting the better of it here the longer the quarter has gone. And here's Bella Nascimento from outside. That's off the mark. Dembele the rebound. And Funi Sissoko takes on Deborah Costa. Jennifer NJ now. Down low, back to Sissoko. Shot clock to 10 for Mali. Outside, here comes a shot from Valera. That's off the mark. Moura had it. It was knocked out of her hands, but she got back to pick it up. Now she's being stripped again, and now she's going to be called for a foul. She reaches in, grabbing the arm there of Funi Sissoko. First personal on Alini Moura.
You can see the desperation that both teams are playing with, going after any loose balls, diving on them. They know the importance of this game.
Well, given the height advantage Brazil enjoys, it's those hustle plays and getting after it that Mali need to be proactive and doing more of. Funi Sissoko takes on Costa down low and comes up with a finish. Margin cut to 4. Was as big as 8. That's a tough shot under pressure from Camila Cardoso, and she's fouled once more. So off to the free throw line, where she is already 2 of 3.
I like the energy that Deborah has brought into this game since she's subbed on. Defensively, she gets so low and is up and into her player, and then we just saw there that pass to Cardoso was just a bullet pass. She is ready to play.
We had the unusual scenario here early in the tournament where Cardoso in the opening game against Belgium did not get a rebound. Had the 10 points, 0 boards, and then backed it up the next day with 17 rebounds, which is the most by a player in the tournament.
And now, as you mentioned earlier, she leads the tournament in rebounds, even though she got 0 that first game.
Not quite sure if we need to go back and have a recheck on that. It's hard to believe that Camila Cardoso could not get a single rebound when she gets 17 less than 24 hours later. She's doing a good job of it here, though. 9 points, 4 rebounds in the opening quarter. She's got Brazil up at the moment and on the buzzer. No joy there for Jennifer NJ. So after they led early, Mali find themselves trailing by 5. At quarter time in Wuhan, it's Brazil 20, Mali 15. It's a good fight back after they were down by as many as 8. But they still have some work to do, and they're going to have to find an answer here for Cardoso, because she's got 9 points to lead all scorers.
Well, I think once Brazil sort of got the feel of the game, initially they weren't going inside at all. Goncalo was, you know, shooting from outside and driving, but once that Cardoso got that first basket, she has been involved ever since, and they are looking for her. She's making good positions, she's establishing it, so that's finished off. And Chapman was happy with a couple of things that she saw as well, but I think that overall Brazil just settled a little bit more. They got to their game plan a little bit earlier, and we know Mali want to penetrate, get their feet in the paint, but Brazil want to get it inside, and I thought they did a good job of that in the second half of that first quarter.
Cardoso finishes with 9 points here in this opening term. 4 turnovers from Mali, just a little too high for them, but they've knocked down 3 triples in the game so far. Brazil are none of 3 from deep. Getting good service from the free throw line at the moment. 8 of 11 from the stripe. You can catch up with all the information you need via the Courtside 1891 app, the QR code on your screen. Check it out online. Scores, schedules. This is qualifying tournament window. We've had 60 games over 5 days on 3 different continents. Spain have punched their ticket at the qualifying tournament in San Juan, Puerto Rico. And likewise, France, who are at home in Lyon, have purchased or punched their ticket as well. So Brazil with a possession arrow as we get underway, term number 2. They lead by 5. Well, the pass for Nascimento was off the mark, and they've coughed it up initially. Diana Valera hands over to Dembele. Now Haidara. Sissoko. Some more court time the longer the tournament goes, and growing in confidence as well. Now with the shot clock at 10. And Jay puts it on the deck. Well, she was bumped taking the shot, and it was an easy call for referee Elvis Binders-Codas to make, and free throws to come here for Mali.
NJ is so quick that when she puts the ball to the floor, as we can see here, she makes contact with her defender so that she is in control, and finds herself going to the foul line.
Welcome addition to the team, Jennifer NJ, after she was unavailable for the first 2 games, arriving here. Came up with 10 points and a couple of steals in 23 minutes. Went none of 2 from the free throw line in the game against Belgium, though. She played well for Mali in the last World Cup when she averaged double digits. She gets them a little closer. 4-point edge for Brazil. That's a better pass for Nascimento. Caught it in rhythm, but she's off the mark with the shot. Dembele the rebound, and now Haidara beats Sissoko. She's an opening in the paint. She wants to penetrate here, and she's going to get a user-friendly roll, a chance of a 3-point play.
Well, she did well. Almost the smallest player on the court, going up against some tall timber by Brazil there. She just weaved her way, had her eyes up on the target the whole time, and now is at the line for an and one.
Makes the extra, so it's a bright start to this second term from Mali. 4 unanswered points. They've cut the margin to just 1 inside the first 60 seconds. Dantas a little out of sorts so far in this game. They need her to get involved a little more. Moura. Now Deborah with it. Shot clock at red numbers. Brazil need to get busy. She's going to pull the trigger here. And offensive board for the Middies Dantas, backing it against Balera, turns around for the shot, it's off the mark. And Mali have grabbed the momentum here.
Well, those are shots that Dantas usually you can count on her making, but Sissoko, I thought that was going down.
Another 4 from the field, the Middies Dantas so far. Just lacked a little bit of energy about her, but Brazil are going to get an opportunity here. Substitutions being made though. We've got Alana Goncalves checked back into the game. Deborah sits down, and they want to bring Camila Cardoso back into the game as well, and Alini Mura will sit down.
Well, I didn't think Cardoso would be sitting for long with the importance of this game and the tightness of it right now. 1 point.
Cardoso on the bench is no good for anyone. She's entertaining. One of the best here. And Brazil need her firing. Outside shot off the mark here by Martins. They keep it alive, and Cardoso got a piece of it. Went to De Oliveira, now Goncalo. A little undecided against Sissoko, who held her at bay. Shot clocked at 2. Well, the pass didn't do many favours there for Cardoso, but she hustles after it and wins it on the deck here. And a scrap for the loose ball as well. 2 feisty customers down there, and Camila Cardoso and Maimouna Haidara, the 2 number 10s, getting after it. Possession arrow is going to be with Mali. They'll come up with possession. 2 minutes played, term number 2. Brazil yet to score since quarter time. These teams desperate for a win to keep their World Cup chances alive.
And Brazil fall back into a zone. Instructions of their coach from the sideline.
Haidara bounce pass to NJ. Telegraphed the one going back, and Martins almost had it. Deflected it out of court. They've got 12 on the shot clock here.
Brazil are doing a good job of mixing up their defenses so that Mali has to second guess. Are they in one-on-one defense? Are they in zone defense?
Fuki Sissoko with some instructions for her teammates here as she hands back to Haidara. NJ. This is Dembele down to the baseline, drawing a foul. Going to be a 3rd team foul on Brazil here inside 3 minutes of this term, so they're going to have to make an adjustment.
That's the thing is, though, even though you're playing a zone, you're actually, whoever's guarding the ball is playing one-on-one defense, so you have to be able to contain dribble penetration.
Haidara restarts. Sissoko. Shot clocked at 10. That's a deep 3 from NJ. Off the mark. O-board though from Balera, and the putback is good as well. First score in the game for her, and Mali are in front on the back of a 6-0 run here to start the second term.
And a turnover there, a deflection. Kone got her hands in that lane.
Haidara throwing in confidence, spoon feeds Balera. Well done, Camila Cardoso there. Although she's done it illegally, according to referee Natasha Dragojevic. And free throws to come for Mali. So 4th team foul on Brazil here in this term. Balera to the free throw line. None of 2 so far in the tournament from the stripe, but rectifies that. This is what happened to Brazil yesterday, where they were well on top in the first half against Czechia, but then lost their way for a patch in the 3rd quarter and only scored 7 points. They haven't scored here in 3 minutes, and they're giving up O-boards on missed free throws at the moment, and they need timeout.
They do. A much-needed timeout being called by Pope and Chapman. They've lost their way. They've lost their focus out there, and whenever a team does that, Mali certainly have taken advantage of that.
None of 5 from the field here in this quarter, Brazil. And they have got some issues for Coach Poking Chapman to try and rectify.
You gotta take care of that. That's the 6th one we've had. I want to run this back to right here. 5 out. You have it. Over here. The viewers have it. You're curling that, okay? Now, after you curl it, ça, tu vas chercher, vous partez. Absolument. Pas de ce côté.
So Cardoso yet to add to the 9 points she had at quarter time. Brazil yet to add to the 20 they had at quarter time. There's more of a unity feel about Mali within their group, even during the warm-up. Up and about in terms of team. Seems a little more individual coming from Brazil. They need to rectify that. They've got pressure up the floor here on them as well. Mali on a 9-0 run to start the second. As Goncalo brings Brazil forward. Here's Dantas. Had to hit a field goal in the game to meet his Dantas, and she is the leading scorer at the tournament. They want to get her involved, and they roll it down to her now. Single coverage may not be enough, but she's short on the rim, but she's fouled in the process, and she's off to the stripe where she's 2 of 2.
Interesting, most of the shots that Dantas has taken, either from the short corner area or there, have all fallen short. So whether she's just a little fatigued, we know she's leading the competition in averaging almost 23 points. So she's played a lot of minutes, and it's been very physical, as you would expect in a tournament like this.
Free throw short as well. The 4th game in 5 days. She's playing 31 minutes a game. It's been quite a workload. She makes the back end there. So the first score for Brazil in this quarter, and arrives after 3 minutes. Mali on top here with some momentum. Dembele wheels inside. That's off the mark. Rebound snatched away there by Dantas. Now Goncalo against Sissoko. Here's Cardoso. Handing over the Oliveira. Wants a lob pass for Cardoso on the move, and she goes to work and draws a foul as well.
That's so hard to, it's simple basketball, pick and roll, Cardoso rolling to the basket. That is hard to stop her when she is on the move and they get the pass to her high in the air.
3 of 5 from the free throw line so far, Cardoso. 75% on the tournament. That's not going to thrill her. There's another one rattles out. 72% with the Chicago Sky in the WNBA, where she averages 14 points, 9 rebounds. And she's missed both there. Will Mali get after it? And Bailera and Haidara tangle. Haidara just slipped, and she went after the ball as well and is slow to join the offense. Let's hope she's okay. Just came off the floor there. Here she is, moving okay. Penetration is good, and it sits on the rim and tumbles for Maimouna Haidara. 4 in the game now for her. They lead by 5, but the quick reply at the other end is from De Oliveira, and her first field goal. So it's starting to develop into a very interesting contest here. Haidara, back-to-back buckets for her.
Well, there was 0 resistance there from Brazilian defense. First on the penetration, then from no split line help.
Foul is called on Puni Sissoko here, going to be her first personal. Brazil already over the limit in terms of fouls in this term, as you get a replay here. The action. Here's Haidara with those back-to-back buckets. Does a bit of everything for Mali. She's top 10 in scoring in the tournament, top 10 in rebounding, averages 4 assists as well.
And she's been really impressive this tournament, and she just brings a lot of energy, but also steadiness to that team.
Dantas tried to make room against Haidara and comes up with the finish. That's her first field goal of the game after missing her opening 4 shots. Skip pass from Dabu to Haidara, who goes from the outside this time. Short on the rim. Dantas wrestling there for the rebound. Against Kone, I think is going to be called for the foul. So that's going to be a 4th team foul, a 2nd personal foul for Kone.
Well, this is a real seesawing affair, and I find that the games that have taken place so far in days 1, 2, and 3, there's feels like teams get leads and then there's big momentum swings, big runs, and then another team has a lead, and it's really interesting, that momentum swings that we've been seeing.
Doumbia retreats away from the defense. I'll get it inside Valera in a mismatch here. Working against Sangali, and she was forced to foul, so free throws to come here. You see Kone, Valera. Well, she had Sangali in a world of pain down there.
And while Valera only has 3 points so far this game, she has been playing really well. Make that 4 now that she made that first foul shot, but she is guarding either Cardoso or Dantas, doing a very good job. She's being a target inside here. She's getting some boards. She's sort of going about her business really quietly.
Didn't get to the free throw line in the opening quarter, Marley. They're 5 of 7 now from the stripe. Little stages of the second. Cardoso's only taken the 1 shot so far since quarter time. And Goncalo had the ball knocked down away from her, but a foot violation called on Rocky Doumbia, so Brazil will restart here. Oliveira will do the honours. Cardoso, extra pass was a good one, and the finishing touch is provided by Isa Sangali.
Well, that looked like a play that had definitely been drawn up. Cardoso knew that she would attract some defenders if she got the ball, and it was a great cut by Sangali.
Doumbia, nothing happening off the ball here. Players jostled for position. Haidara, shot clock at single digits. She penetrates, knife between a couple of defenders and drew a late whistle to get to the free throw line. And Camila Cardoso's been called for the foul, and she wants a challenge from the coach on this.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Let's have a look here. That was that out of bounds play where Sangali.
Timeout called by Marley here. 4:02 left on the clock. It's a second personal on Cardoso, but she was keen to have it reviewed. And Coach Pokey Chapman decided that wasn't going to be the case. So it took over 4 minutes out from half time. Both teams in front in each of the 2 quarters so far. As you see, Brazil yet to hit a 3 in the game. Doing most of their work from the free throw line with their 9 of 15.
Well, Brazil, I think as you mentioned, John, they take a lot of free throws during a game.
Yeah, to put that into context, we're still averaging up to 31 free throws a game. Czechia have 12 at the other end of the scale. But their dominance is inside with Cardoso and with Dantas, and they need to keep feeding that because it's been successful for them. When they go away from it, they just don't have the outside shooters nor a third wheel who can pick up the offensive slack. And Cardoso here at the moment, just 1 shot since quarter time. It's just not enough. Played almost 6 minutes. Both teams are in the bonus situation here, so Haidara goes to the free throw line. 70% free throw shooter at the tournament. First trip to the stripe here. I think she's been one of the finds for Mali. Lead them in scoring, I think, would have been a surprise for them coming into the tournament.
Well, she's very athletic and she's really active at both ends of the court.
Well, she averaged 5 points a game at Afro Basketball. They won the bronze, and she's up to 14 here. So it's been a marked improvement, and it's helped them get a 4-point edge here as we head toward half-time. Martins decides to fire from outside. Still no reply from deep for Brazil, who moved to 0 and 7 from deep. Doumbia against Goncalo, goes on with the dribble. Haidara down low calling for it. Trying to post up Sangali. Here's Kone, puts it on the deck. Inside Cardoso, confronted by Dantas. They talked her out of the points. Last touch by Mali, and Brazil are going to come up with it. That That was ambitious. Taking on Cardoso and then Dantas. How many people are going to get through the dual line there? Goncalo, the reverse finish is a nice one as well as she comes up with her 6th point in the game. They close the margin to 2. Haidara surveys her options. All 7 of her points have come in this quarter, and from close range she'd be disappointed she didn't do a little better there. Cardoso grabs the rebound. That's number 8 for her. I'm not quite sure what the pass was intended for there. Went straight to Marley and a couple of players. Kone takes on Cardoso, muscles away in and comes up with a finish as well. Cardoso playing with 2 fouls. There was little she could do about that. So Marley back out to a 4-point edge. 2.5 to play until the major break. Penetration was good and a nice finish for Goncalo as well. So she's up to 8 points in the game. Only Cardoso with 9 has more for Brazil. Cumbia to Kone. Now Dabu. There's Valera from outside. Couldn't finish. O-board from Haidara in traffic. Keeps it alive. Valera decides to go again. And she's now none of 2 from deep. Inside the last 2 minutes, it's a 2-point game. Both teams make some substitutions here in the shadows of half-time. Just 11 points for Brazil in this term, 18 from Mali. It's helped them chase down a 5-point deficit, turn it into an edge here by 2 points. Alina Goncalo for Martins. Sangali puts it on the deck, got to the foul line, looking confident and knocking down the shot as well.
And that's what Brazil need. They need a couple of other contributors besides just Cardoso and Dantas, and now they seem to be finding a couple.
4 points on 2 of 2 from Isa Sangali. Sissoko hands off. The outside ball is long from Dabu. And Kone just couldn't reel it in. She's looking a little tired at the moment. She does so much work for Mali. Averages 31 minutes a game. But their 3-point shooting, well, neither team have really been able to hit their straps. 3 of 14 for Mali. That includes none of 5 in this quarter. And Brazil, well, they're none of 7.
Well, and Brazil come into this game at 40%. So, you know, they're just gone missing right now. But that can change.
Martins for the 3. Ooh, off the window, but it wouldn't fall. And Funi Sissoko. Penetration was good. Valera retreats. Dabu got a good look. That's off the mark. And well done Cardoso to drag down the rebound. That's number 9 for her to go with the 9 points. She hasn't scored in this quarter though, and they need to get her involved. Asked a lot of her there. Almost got it done. Dantas from close range needed to do a little better. Sissoko got it from Dabu. Shot clock 10 seconds inside the game clock. Sneaking back door. Here's Valera. Half shot wouldn't work for her, but now a foul has been called on Isa Sangali. It's going to be her 2nd, and free throws to come for Mali.
Yeah, interesting. Dantas looks really fatigued out there. She's doing a lot of things right and then just can't finish.
Mali edge back in front. And Sika Kone adding to the tally. So 2 of 2 from the stripe for her. 8 of 11 from the free throw line, Mali, after they didn't get to the stripe in the opening quarter. Timeout called. 31.7 left on the clock here. It's Mali by 2. Well, down by as many as 8 in the opening quarter. A reminder, South Sudan against Belgium are up next. That's 4:30 local time. In about 2 and a bit hours from now, we finish tonight with Czechia against China.
I want to go chin, Spain. Okay? I want to go chin, Spain. Belt. the opposite because I want you coming up to come off the ball screen. Okay? I want you to come off the ball screen. Is Chin's lane, Bella's on the same side as Tamira's because I want her coming off this ball screen right here. Get the back screen. I think they're going to stay with them, and you're probably going to have a good look. Okay? Yeah. You get down. Bella's coming up. Get in this corner, okay? Right now, right now. 1, 2, 3.
It took Brazil more than 3 minutes to score in this quarter, and they've been able to manufacture just 13 points. Yesterday they were restricted to only 7 in the third quarter by Czechia. So it seems that if Cardoso goes quiet and Dantas isn't there, that they have trouble getting some offense happening. And that's what's been going on here in the second, because Cardoso hasn't added to a tally. Dantas has hit just the 1 field goal from 6 attempts so far. Goncalo with 8 points, 4 in each of the 2 quarters. Has tried to keep them on an even keel. That's a pass that was opening the door for NJ, and eventually she does strip Nascimento of it, and she adds the 2 as well.
Really quick hands and great anticipation by NJ.
First field goal of the game for her. And out of the timeout, I'm sure that's not going to please Pokey Chapman, the coach of Brazil. Last play of the first half. Cardoso from close range turns around, banks it off the glass. So she's in the double digits. Been a lone hand for Brazil largely. 11 points, 9 rebounds for Camila Cardoso at halftime, including a bucket on the buzzer, which gives them something to work with, at least some momentum to carry over into the second half, and they closed to within 2. They started this quarter up 5, but they trail by 2 at halftime in Wuhan, where Mali 37 lead Brazil 35. $22 points to 15 was the equation in that term. Favour of Mali. They'll go in feeling good about themselves as we take a look at some of the numbers.
Well, the thing that just stands out glaringly is the 3-point shooting for Brazil, a 0 from 8 right now. And that really puts pressure on the inside players when, if defense is collapsing and they're kicking it out to their perimeter shooters, are not scoring. And we can see the scoring. Kone 11 and Cardoso both 11. Nobody is standing out in particular. And that's reflective in the score, the close score line in 2 points.
Points from turnovers interesting as well. Mali have generated 12 points off turnovers and Brazil just 2. I think it's about the energy as well.
Yeah.
As we get set to go here, second half.
Well, and I don't expect Brazil to go 0 from 8 in this second half. They shoot the ball well from the 3-point line, and they'll hope that they come good in the second half.
Both teams back to their original starting 5s as we get underway with Mali on top by 2. Martins injected into the starting lineup for this game. Goes solo. It's off the mark. Loose ball, and Mali are off and running. Doumbia's got Haidara ahead of her. Kone joining in now. And now it's Haidara. Had all 7 of her points in the second quarter as she warmed to the challenge here. Oh, spinning between defenders there. Just couldn't get the finish. Rebound number 10 for Cardoso, so another double-double for her. Ball handling just a little casual there. Eventually found the handle. Martins went back to Goncalo. Cardoso worried out of the points. Well done, Sika Kone, to deflect that. And now they find Dembele ready to go. That's off the mark. The loose ball. Invariably, it's Mali who are coming up with it. Their hustle is good. Haidara, 9 on the shot clock for her. Down low, the pass was a tough one. Dembele couldn't reel that in.
Right idea to make a backdoor cut. The defense was overplaying, trying to get in the passing lanes. Just couldn't execute that pass.
5th turnover for Mali. Brazil has 8 in that category, as Martins and Goncalo combine to bring the ball forward. Cardoso gets it a long way from where she operates, and quick release shot from De Oliveira is off the mark. Both teams scoreless here through the first 90 seconds since halftime. Dembele, Haidara. Long way back down. There's an opening in the paint for her, and she gets it done. Draws a foul. Chance at a 3-point play as they expand the margin.
She is just so athletic and quick and long and explosive. How many other words can I use? But what a great drive to the basket, finishing on her left, and finds herself at the line for an and one.
One of two from the stripe so far. 8 of 12 overall at the tournament. That was well short. The margin is 4. As Brazil come forward. And Carlo. There's Dantas. Down low against Kone. The turnaround wouldn't work. She's had problems. Now 1 of 7 from the field. Committee's Dantas. Spinning baseline. Wow. That's a nice finish from Dembele.
Well, really good decision. While the defense was back, they weren't really quite set and ready to play. And when she caught it, she just made a nice little spin move straight to the basket.
First score in the game for her on a 9-point average as Cardoso answers at the other end.
Equally, pick and roll, strong roll by Cardoso, good pass. Easy basketball when you do that.
Tabu gives it up. Kone takes it from Doumbia, puts it on the deck, bounces into Cardoso, who's playing with 2 fouls. Well, the pass is a poor one, intended for De Oliveira, cut out by Haidara, who gives it back to Martins, and now De Oliveira will get it. Good defensive pressure came from Haidara there and talked her out of the points. And she had an open lane to the bucket. So again, just a little aggression lacking there for Brazil. And you're going to have to want this. And Haidara certainly does, as she has Goncalo on the back pedal and has called for the foul. Going to be her first personal. Free throws to come here.
If you watch Brazil playing defense, they're being very reactive. So they're all playing with their hands down by their side. So they're not putting any real intense pressure on Mali. So Mali is able to move the ball around at will to wherever they want it to and then make a play. So Brazil need to become more proactive. They need to get in passing lanes. They need to put pressure on whoever has the ball. Otherwise, this game's going to get away from them.
I like that from Kaka Martins then. She just demanded all her teammates join her in a huddle and had a bit to say. So good leadership from her. Haidara getting frustrated from the free throw line. She's 1 of 4. That's a little better for her. So the margin is 5, almost 3 minutes played, term number 3. Difficult to see both these teams make the World Cup, finish top 4, so a win here is vital. Both still could, but it seems unlikely. De Oliveira with the penetration, and that's a better finish, more aggressive from her.
Really good decision to keep taking it. She really controlled her body at the end of that drive.
Haidara looks inside. It's Kone working on Cardoso, trying to exploit the foul she has. Kone, good spin move. Working to the right-hand side, but couldn't hit the target. And now Goncalo pushes up the floor. Single coverage at the moment as they work it inside. Cardoso and Kone. And a whistle provided here, so foul going to be called. It's going to be on Cardoso, so that's going to be her 3rd personal foul. See the finish there from De Oliveira. And they're going to take Cardoso out. It seems that was a focus for Mali to try and put her under pressure and try and draw a 3rd foul. And they've got the result, and she sits down, and Alini Mura replaces her. 3.5 played, term number 3. Mali on top by 3. Here's Kone. Goes to work, gets it done. It's a 3-point play. She's got 13.7 rebounds here at the moment and is lifting Mali.
Well, it was good action off of post feed. Down low, she's looking. Kone just cut. Her defender was watching the ball, so she cut in front of her, was able to make receive the pass and finish. And that was a good pump up from all of them.
That's the extra. So it's a game high. 6-point advantage here for Mali. Still led by 8 in the opening quarter. And Sika Kone with 14 points in the game. Brazil need to get something happening. They roll it down low. for the Middies Dantas. And she's fouled, so off to the free throw line. It doesn't look like she's really energised by all this, the Middies Dantas. Maybe she is a little fatigued. And I'd understand if she was. But she needs to lift. The team certainly needs her to lift. 4 or 5 from the free throw line in this game. 74% on the tournament. So the margin is 4. As Mali come forward to Rocky Adumbia. Now Haidara. Just some penetration. And gets to the bucket here. Gets it done. Draws a foul on Alini Mura and a chance at a three-point play.
Again, she is just explosive and strong. There was a few players there. Physicality, she had to, you know, fend off on her way to the basket there, but such a strong finish.
Two of 5 from the stripe in the game, though, and she adds the extra this time, so she's up to 13. Maimouna Haidara had 24 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and a polished display against Czechia in the second game. And she's looked strong in this one. It's a 7-point lead now, the biggest lead that Mali has had. Dantas rattles around and tumbles for the Middies Dantas.
She'll be happy to see that go around the rim and finally drop in for her.
The second field goal, 1 of 7 before that one down the target. Jennifer NJ with it. Hands over, Haidara. This time going to fire from long range. And she banks the 3.
That's what you do when somebody backs off of you because you've been penetrating so well that you then are able to shoot the 3. That is a dagger.
So they lead by 8. Well, Jennifer NJ was up the floor and open there, but Haidara's got the hot hand at the moment. Feeds outside Dembele. That's off the mark. And Middies Dantas and Sika Kone just came together there as the shot wouldn't work there for the Oliveira. And that's a good wrestle. Haidara doing it both ends of the floor there against Mura. 16 in the game now for Haidara. She's got 9 in this quarter. Out of the 14 that a team have come up with, she's really lifted. 16 points, 9 rebounds.
She's played 21 minutes of the game so far.
Dumbia, they allowed her to set her feet, and she came up with a finish there. Her first points of the game have extended the margin here, and it's now into double digits for the first time in the game as Mali lead at 54 to 43.
And that's what I was talking about. If you play with your hands down, you are inviting those outside shooters to take a shot there. And so you've got to make sure defensively you're up, you carry a hand, at least make it a contested shot.
17 points to 8 is the run out of half-time by Mali. Brazil have got some work to do here. But those on the bench with 3 fouls, and they trail by 11.
Esquentaram a mão. Então agora a gente todas, igual a 22, faz ajuda e volta. O importante, como nós vamos sair um pouquinho para parar essa bola, vai ter o rolo, nós vamos rolar. Então gestiona aqui, não pode ter passivo, tá bom? Bora, vamos melhorar. Embaixo de novo, tá? 1, 2, 3.
Striking number there, none of 9 from long range for Brazil. We mentioned they came into this game as the best 3-point shooting team in the competition at 47%. It is on a low volume compared with the other teams, but they haven't hit a 3 and they can't contain Haidara at the moment. Tournament high rebound count for her with 10. First double-double. Deborah back onto the floor to try and inject some energy. And here's Mura. Tough shot. She's off the mark. Just doesn't have the presence that Camila Cardoso has, but she sits at the moment with 3 fouls. And Mali are taking advantage of that. absence. Inside the last 4 minutes, term number 3. Jennifer and Jay with it. Single digits on the shot clock. Here's Haidara. It's the double team. Red numbers now. Mali need to make something happen and quickly. Doumbia will fire. And she's off the mark. So good defensive pressure there from Brazil. They need some points as they look for Dantas. And she lost control of the ball and trickles out of court. So they will turn it over once more. 9 turnovers now for Brazil in the game. 6 from their opponents. That's a good job by Mali because they average 18 turnovers a game. So to have 6 here with 3 and a bit to play in the third is a good number for them. Doumbia puts it on the deck. That's a tough finish with her.
Just a nice little curl cut. Everything's done with pace right now for Mali.
Starting to get away from Brazil. 13 is the margin. It was 2 when we started this term. De Oliveira tried to go baseline on Haidara, but she was ready for it. She does eventually get to the baseline and gets the 2 and draws a foul. Well, persistence pays off there. Manu De Oliveira determined to make something happen. Forced Maimouna Haidara to play some defense as well, and eventually she got the better of her.
Well, Brazil just need to keep chipping away at this lead. 13 points right now. Lots of time left in this ball game. They need to get on a run. You know, come up with some really good stops and then punish at the other end. And that certainly lifts and can make the momentum swing your way. But right now, Mali look like they have answers for everything.
Doumbia with problems. Almost relieved of by Deborah. Now whistle off the ball here. Foul's going to be called on Brazil. They're over the limit, so we've got free throws to come here as Isa Sangali picks up her 3rd personal.
I like the insertion of Deborah into the game because she brings that defensive intensity. You can see she's always down low in the stance. Hands are active, feet are active.
The change in the complexion of the game in terms of free throws has been stark here since quarter time. Brazil had 11 free throws at quarter time and they've only taken 7 since. And Mali, who didn't get to the stripe in the opening quarter, well, they've now taken 18. It's a strength of Brazil. They get there more than any other team. But that strength has been nullified and it's Mali who have got the advantage from there now. A 12-point lead. Inside the last 3 minutes, De Oliveira gets it from Sangali. Puts it on the deck. She's decided someone needs to take this on and she's going to do it.
That's what they need. They need somebody to put their hand up and defensively and offensively.
Outside shot off the mark. Dantas the rebound. Sangali skip pass. Here's Deborah feeding the corner and getting it back. Wendy's Dantas. What about taking on Valera? Goes to De Oliveira instead, and she looks inside. That's a tough finish. Couldn't get it done. Isa Sangali. Now at the other, and Jennifer NJ feeds Sangari. That's off the mark. The first time onto the floor for Jennifer Sangari. And here's NJ once more, spinning, tough shot, gets it done. Well, they just can't stop Mali from scoring at the moment.
No, and they've got so many different ways of scoring and different people right now that are stepping up and contributing. But you can see the active defense too. Yes, that was a foul, but it's only their 3rd foul this quarter, and it just sends a message to the rest of the team. We want to be up and in. We want to try and get deflections, whatever it is that we can get. And we see Sissoko coming back onto the court now. We know what an impact that she had when she came on the court in the first half.
A little over 90 seconds out from 3/4 time. As Deborah exploring, feeds Moura, top of the key. The 3 ball is not the friend of Brazil at the moment. None of 10 in this game. Kuni Sissoko It was up the floor. Wanted Cisse, and Mura did a good job defensively. Mali resting their big guns at the moment for the fourth quarter tilt. And Jay gets it from Sangari. Now works baseline, overcooked it. Got her own rebound. There are 5 bench players out there at the moment, Mali. Sangari draws a foul. So more free throws to come here. Brazil over the limit. It doesn't matter what Brazil throw at them. Mali are not perturbed one little bit.
They aren't. And their dribble penetration is so quick. It's really been a struggle for Brazil to try and contain it.
Continuing their good work to get to the free throw line here. Mali. And extending their margin. This is starting to get problematic now for Brazil. Lead has never been high. In fact, 14 is the margin, so that's the biggest we've seen at any stage. Inside the last minute of the third. Tangali, skip pass. Deborah puts it on the deck. This is Mura, penetration, but she's shut down. That's good defensive pressure. And the bench is up as well here for Mali. They love it.
They recognize the importance of that. The defense that Mali is playing right now and the pressure that they are putting Brazil under.
With Mama Cisse from behind with the good extensions you can see in that replay.
So 2.2 seconds on the shot clock.
They get it to Cardoso, but she was shut down. Hand in the air from Gianna Valera. And Mali, full of confidence at the moment. Valera from outside. Can't convert. Rebound to Martins, and now Deborah wants to feed Cardoso. That poor pass, it was picked off. He's never going to get to Cardoso. And they're starting to panic a little here, Brazil. They can see this slipping away with Mali up by 14 points.
Well, they really, I mean, they can get this back to the 10-point margin, and we always say that on the fourth quarter. If you're within 10 points, it's still anybody's game. But certainly the way Mali are playing right now, they'd feel very good.
5-point differential between the game clock and the shot clock. Well, she travelled. Tried hard to turn that over, and eventually she succeeded there. And there's some miscommunication, as you can see, in Deborah. Well, she's out of confidence at the moment as well. And Pokey Chapman looks like she's running out of ideas also. Timeout has been called here with 15 seconds to play until three-quarter time. And as you can see, open palms in the Brazil camp. They are a little concerned with how this is unfolding. Just 13 points for them in this quarter. They had just 15 in the second term. Came in averaging 76 a game. So this is below par for them. You love the energy from Mali. Massive upset looming here. World number 18 up against number 9 Brazil. And it's been that way right from the start, and we spoke about it pre-game, about the way Mali came onto the floor in the warm-up. They're up and about, they're energised. Brazil didn't look like they were as unified as one. The body language suggested Mali were going to give this their all. And after Brazil enjoyed an 8-point lead in the opening quarter, Mali have reeled them in and are now doing much the better. Sissoko shares it with NJ. They need to get it up quickly. This is right on the buzzer. In fact, it's after the event. So three-quarter time arrives here, and it is Mali who are looking strong against world number 9 Brazil. At three-quarter time, Mali 62 leads Brazil 48. Brazil have had 7 of their 13 in that term. It really kept them in the hunt, but they're going to have to dig deep here. They've got the possession arrow to get underway here in this final quarter. Cardoso back on the floor with those 3 fouls. She sat down for the last 6 minutes of the quarter, and a 6-point advantage for Mali ballooned out to 14. So they need some activity from her and Dimitri's Dantas, because the time is now. Losing here going to be very difficult to qualify for the World Cup, and it's Bella Nascimento who takes them on and draws contact to get to the free throw line, still looking for her first points in the game. 5 of 6 from the stripe at the tournament, Bella Nascimento. Averaging 8 points a game. We saw her light it up in the opening game against Belgium, where she hit 4 of 6 threes in a 16-point haul, but she's had just 9 points in the 2 games subsequent to that. And her first score in this game arrives here in the last quarter. So they open the scoring. Now they've got some work to do at the defensive end, Brazil, to keep Mali at bay. Funi Sissoko. Valera, baseline, back to Sissoko. Under the hoop, can't complete it. Goncalo running. Energized Cardoso up the floor, but the pass is picked off. Well done, Jennifer Sangari there. And she wants the quick release to Mama Sisse. It had too much on the pass. And Mali don't want to get into this up-tempo game. And you want to play the percentages here when you're holding a double-digit lead.
Well, and you don't want Brazil to get on any sort of run and sort of wrestle away the momentum, because we've seen over and over in games where a 14-point lead has just vanished.
Cemento, Dimitri's Dantas puts it on the deck, wrestles her way inside, but she can't complete it there. And that's been the problem for her right throughout the game. She's now 2 of 9 from the field. Cardoso caught behind Sisse, playing with those fouls, did a good job just to prevent the bucket.
Well, Brazil have come up with some good stops. They just haven't been able to find a way to score themselves. Well, there you go. Yes, that'll help, certainly. So they've scored the first 5 points of this quarter. Maybe that's something that can set them up and they can go on a bit of a run here.
5 unanswered points it is from Nascimento. And finally, the 3-ball drops for them after they were none of 10. Sissoko goes on with the dribble, the pass deflected. Shot clock to red numbers here. Mali need to get it up, and they've found NJ with it, but that is off the mark. And now the Brazil bench is up. They've come to life here in the 4th.
Well, we've played only 2 minutes, but there's been no score from Mali, and Brazil are looking to come down and extend that.
Jay called for the foul, so a second team foul on Mali here in this quarter. Coach Umbro Sidia is going to make some changes here, bring back the big guns. Had his starters in Dembele and Haidara and Kone on the bench to start the last quarter, and the first 2 minutes didn't go as planned.
So we'll see if Brazil, against these players, can continue and put some very important points on the board.
Martins, Nascimento in the danger here in the 4th. It's close attention here, so she has to retreat. Martins, 3 on the shot clock for her in a confined space. Difficult shot, couldn't get it done, and Kone grabs the rebound. Being good on the boards, Kone, that's number 9 for her in the game. So they work baseline. Kone kept going with the dribble. It was overcooked by NJ, and now Kone with it, but she pushed her way to the advantage. She's going to be called for the foul. So a 4th personal on her, and that alters the scenario as well. That is a big change.
Well, plus the fact that Brazil now have 3 fouls with 7.5 minutes to go. A couple more, and they'll be sending Brazil to the line.
Good pressure there from Sissoko. And Goncalo, all she could handle. And here's Dantas. Talked out of the points again, and Kone playing with 4 fouls did a good job there not to foul. Haidara uses Dembele. They need a bucket. She puts it on the deck, lost the handle under pressure, and it's out of court. Or it's come unstuck here for Mali in the first 3 minutes of the last quarter. And Brazil are making some noise. Kone's taken out of the game, not surprisingly, with 4 fouls. They have to protect her at the moment with 7 minutes on the clock.
I'd like Brazil to see if they can run something to get it down to Cardoso inside.
Pressure on Valera here to try and contain them as they add another 2. So they've come out of three-quarter time here on the back of a 7-0 run. We saw Mali get 9 without answer to start the second term. They're getting some of their own medicine here from Brazil, and now they do slow it down, look for percentage play. NJ baseline against Nascimento. Help came from Cardoso. Shot clock about to expire. They're not aware of it, and they get a shot clock violation as well.
That was great defense by Nascimento, and then helped out by Cardoso in there, and they have really put the brakes on Mali's offense.
4 turnovers in this term. They had 6 in the first 3 quarters, Mali, as Nascimento knocks down another 3. What a start to the final quarter this is.
Okay, game on now.
10-0 start, and a 14-point lead is back to 4. Great fight back from Brazil. Shot clock at 5 here. Sissoko with problems. Baseline, nothing on offer. Gave it up to Cardoso, and here come Brazil once more. Goncalo. Martins wide open for the 3 ball. They're back to within a single point. It's 13 unanswered points out of three-quarter time, and Brazil are up and about.
Well, we talk about the runs that have taken place all tournament, and none more so than this one from Brazil out of that three-quarter time out.
Well, Bella Nascimento, as she did in the opening game against Belgium, where she knocked down 4 threes, she has sprung to life here in this last quarter, knocked down a couple of threes here. Martins joined the three-point party, and after they missed their first 10 shots, they've hit 3 of 13 now, so 3 of 3 from deep. We spoke about them coming in as the best three-point shooting team in the competition coming into this game. Another 10 at three-quarter time. They've turned it around, and no microphones in the huddles during the 4th quarter, so we can't provide that audio to you. But we're providing some excellent action here. It's the first of 3 games today. Next up, it's going to be South Sudan against Belgium. That's coming your way in about 90 minutes. And we finish with Czechia against China. And the winner of that game will qualify for the World Cup.
Well, this is a real test for the number 18th world ranking Mali. Test their nerve, see if they can steady the ship here. They've played so well up to this stage that now they just need to go and continue to do what they have done so far. Put pressure on Brazil defensively and make sure you attack them offensively.
Well, they had 13 points in the 3rd quarter, Brazil. They've scored 13 in 4 minutes here in the last. And Mali need to steady the ship. Yet to score in this term, more than 4 minutes played. It's a little clunky at the offensive end. They've got single digits to work with. Haidara feeds the outside. Valera, she's off the mark. And Brazil have got another rebound. Well, this has been quite a turnaround from Brazil. After Mali were all over them. And Carlo gives it up to Nascimento, who puts it on the deck, penetrates, it rattles around the rim and tumbles. Brazil are in front on the back of a 15-0 run here.
How good is Nascimento? They took away that three-point shot, and so she thought, I'm going to put it to the ground and go to the rack.
8 points for Nascimento here after being scoreless in the first 3. The outside shot is off the mark from NJ. Well, this is extraordinary. Goncalo lit out of control, got it to Cardoso, but from close range, she can't convert. Thought she was fouled, and Mali will get a bucket. It's taken more than 5 minutes for them to score in this quarter.
And maybe that's the settling bucket that they need. They go up by 1 point now with just over 4.5 minutes to go.
Foul called on Marley, so that's 4 team fouls now on Marley in this quarter.
Doumbia gets the job of guarding. She was guarding Nascimento.
Belgium, Brazil with it. Kone back onto the floor here with those 4 fouls. Let's see if they try and exploit that, Brazil. Nascimento, Dantas, they go at Kone. Dantas marshalling her way in from close range. It rattles around the rim, it won't fall. 2 of 11 now for Dimitris Dantas, the tournament's leading scorer, has just 9 at the moment. Yet to score in this final term. But Brazil have come from 14 down to be back in the frame here as Dembele wheels and deals inside with a nice finish.
What a tough shot, because Cardoso played some pretty good defense there. She had to shoot that over an outstretched arm.
Cardoso feeds Dantas. She turns around and knocks it down. First score in this quarter for the captain. This is the closest game we've had at the tournament. Kone spinning into trouble. Goncalo relieved her of possession. Inside they go. Dimitris Dantas takes them on, puts Brazil back in front.
She would be so relieved that those last 2 shots have finally dropped, because she has worked hard, but so many of them have just fallen short. But great finish in the last 2, and now can go ahead and she makes this. It puts them ahead by 2 points.
Dantas was 2 of 8 at 3/4 time from the field. Now 2 of 4. She's got 10 boards to go with the 13 points, and they have sprung to life after they were dormant on the offensive end, particularly in the third where they had just 13. So a 2-point edge in favour of Brazil. A little over 3 minutes left on the clock. We started this term with Mali up 14. And they've scored just 4 points since then. Oh, Doumbia, she looked off the D, and now a foul's going to be called on Goncalo. So her second personal, first team foul on Brazil here in this quarter.
Doumbia's doing a really good job of not panicking in this situation. So she had control of the ball there. She was looking to see if there was anybody to pass it to her for a driving lane open for her. But she didn't panic. She was really patient.
Had a good tournament, Rocky Doumbia. 10 points, 2 or 3 from deep in the opening game. 11 points, 4 assists against Czechia. 6 points, 3 assists in this game here. She ties it away. Going to count down the last 3 minutes of play here with a spot in the World Cup in September. Certainly going to be influenced by the result. And Dantas turns around and adds another bucket. Now Dantas up to 16, including 7 in this final term, as Haidara rarely sighted here in the 4th. A late whistle. A foul appeared to be there. It's called from behind by Elvis Bindas-Kodas from Latvia. Brazil thought that Natasha Nagojevic under the bucket was in a better position, but had the same angle as Bindas-Kodas, and there appeared to be a bump. So Haidara goes to the free throw line. Mali will take anything they can get at the moment. And she hasn't scored in this term, has 16 points, 10 rebounds, Haidara.
And those 4 fouls.
She calms the nerves to get her team back to within a single point. Well, we haven't had a game at this tournament that's been decided by single digits. Now, 10th game looks as though it's finally going to provide one. Goncalo outside. Martins, extra pass was a good one. Finishing touches from Cardoso. The first score in this quarter for Camila Cardoso, who moves to 15 points, 11 boards. And the challenge for Mali is now to try and reel this in. They need a bucket. They go to Kone, and she's good enough to come up with one.
Really good finish, because there was a lot of bodies going around inside there, and she just finished strongly.
Less than 2 minutes on the clock. They stood off Goncalo. She's deep with the three. Doumbia gets after the rebound. Quick outlet pass. Kone in traffic. Rushes home. Adds another two. Well, Kone's got 20 to go with 11 boards. She's playing with 4 fouls. Has sprung to life here when a team needed her. And Mali are back on top. 1:48 to play. Timeout call. Gloria Chiswick, we spoke pre-game about not having a tight finish so far in the tournament, but with the stakes rising and spots at the World Cup up for grabs, we thought it might tighten up today, and this is exactly what we were after. A 73-72 scoreline with Mali on top inside 2 minutes.
Well, and what a turnaround from Brazil. We thought that they had, Mali had, you know, well and truly had the game in their grasp, and then Brazil have just come out and exploded in this fourth quarter to make it a 2-point game. So this last 1 minute and 48 seconds, it'll be a case of which team can hold their nerve and make sure defensively they're making whoever's scoring, whoever's got the ball in their hands, put a lot of pressure on them. Every shot has to be contested. And then offensively, make the right decisions.
So Mali have to dig deep here. They've been challenged after they were coasting. They led for the 19 minutes up to three-quarter time. And Brazil just 6. As you can see, they're over the limit in terms of fouls. Brazil just the 2 team fouls so far in this term. And you get the impression that Cardoso is going to have an impact here as well. She's only got the 1 score since three-quarter time. But with that foul problems that Mali have got, getting the ball into Dantas and Cardoso, you would think is where Brazil are going to butter their bread. Martins takes it from Goncalo. She puts it on the deck. Oh, good defensive pressure. NJ dislodged the ball. Here's Goncalo going solo. It's off the mark. Cardoso got a piece of it. Well, Nascimento, Dimitis Dantas goes back to her. She's been busy here in the fourth. This time the three's off the mark. Cardoso wrestling for the rebound. Did enough to force it out off Haidara. Brazil restarts. 80 seconds to play. They're down a point.
See if they can execute on this baseline out of bounds play.
They want Nascimento involved. They found an open shot for her, and she
did.
puts them in front. Nascimento's got 10 points in this last quarter after being scoreless at three-quarter time. And Brazil leads with a little over a minute to play. Doumbia, wraparound pass. Here's NJ with a good look outside. It rattled around the rim and jumped out.
Oh.
Goncalo for Cardoso. She reels it in,
Wow.
gets it done, adds another 2. They lead by 3 inside 60 seconds.
That was a baseball pass.
Kone. Outside, they need a bucket, then Belly. Oh, it wouldn't fall.
Oh.
It didn't like the look and jumped out. Brazil up 3. Well, Mali might even be encouraged to foul here. They don't have to. Goncalo lost control of the ball and now bounces into Doumbia. They've got fouls to give here, but Goncalo picks up her 3rd personal after the error with the ball handling.
That was a good professional foul by Goncalo. Stops the clock, stopped perhaps a layup. Still have 1 more foul to give.
Well, Mali are none of 5 from long range in this last quarter, so you suspect that they're overdue, and they might be thinking about this right now. Got 35 seconds to play, 22 on the shot clock at the moment. And So Mali calling for a review here. I heard the conversation with Natasha Dragojevic, assistant coach, helping out there, because Amaro Sidia does not speak English. He's spoken French in the press conferences we've held post-game. So Mali, a challenge, a rare challenge it is for them as well. You get one challenge per game, and regardless of whether you get it right or not, this is it.
To review whether the last contact met the criteria of unsportsmanlike, rolling on the floor is personal foul. Can we see the play, please? 24 is defending, she's in front, she's on the path between the offensive player and the basket. What do you see? It's the same thing. All right, so is there any other criteria that can meet the unsportsmanlike? Is this contact excessive?
No, it's not.
Legitimate attempt to play the ball? All right, so after the review, this contact does not meet the criteria for unsportsmanlike, and it will remain as personal foul. Thank you.
That was the voice of Wojtek Liszka from Poland, in conversation there with Elvis Binderskotas from Latvia. So, didn't appear to be a lot in the foul, but given the circumstances with 35 seconds left, perhaps not a bad call from Mali. They thought there was excessive contact. Replay suggested otherwise. So where do they go here?
Plus it gives a chance for the coaches to have a bit of a discussion with their players.
Kone with 20 is their leading scorer, and Jay is probably their best outside threat. Dembele.
Yes, good call by the referee. She just took a little step to get herself balanced there.
So 30 seconds on the clock, 24 on the shot clock, and timeout called here by Brazil's Pokey Chapman. She wants to sit down to discuss how we navigate the 24 seconds that we've got on the shot clock here with a 3-point lead, and it's a good call. Well, they've come from nowhere, Brazil. They were languishing. They were down 14 at three-quarter time, and then reeled off 13 unanswered points to close to within 1 at the start of this term. Assumed the lead, surrendered the lead. Both teams in front here in the last 2 minutes, but up 3 with possession and 24 seconds on the shot clock. Well, this is Brazil's to lose.
Well, and hasn't Bella Nascimento just come to life in this fourth quarter? Much needed. The first 3 of the game that finally dropped was for her at the start of the fourth quarter. And that 12 points now that she has been really crucial in this 3-point lead for Brazil.
None of 10 at three-quarter time from deep, Brazil. 3 of 5 since then.
So they've chosen to advance the ball, Brazil.
Well, so they're going to give them 14 on the shot clock. A little surprise there. I thought that may have been worthwhile to milk that clock for as long, but then you run the danger of starting from the baseline and a turnover and an easy bucket. So Pokey Chapman's got a much better idea than I have. They restart for the captain. He's Dantas with it. Shot clock to single digits here. They need to get busy. Now it's at red numbers. They're a long way from the hoop here. Well, they got Dantas an outside look. It's flat off the front of the rim, and a chance here for Mali.
They need a 3.
Or an and one. Doumbia need to make a decision quickly. She's going to go solo, or she wanted to, and then Dantas deflected the pass. Loose ball scramble here. The 3 from NJ is off the mark. The 2 ball will fall. Here it's after the event, and Brazil have stormed home from 14 down at three-quarter time to